Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Lights, Camera, Pop. I'm Rich.
I'm Mike. What's going on?
How's everybody doing? Hey guys, this is coming at you right before the intro of the show. We just wanted to give you guys a touch base about the episode you're about to hear. It was a great episode, a phenomenal episode. We have a super awesome killer guest on, David VanDyke, and his artwork is amazing. Go check him out on Instagram, Facebook. But about the show, so we had so many issues at the beginning, and we really didn't get started for probably about 45 minutes after we normally would start to record. It was funny because he got he was on time, right? I mean, you were there.
Right. Yeah, I was there. I was there on time.
Your internet decided to be a little bitch.
And then not only did my internet decide to be a bitch, but my computer said this is a great time to do all the downloads that need to be done, all your updates that need to be done.
It was,
And I'm like, no, it's not a good time.
and so when you're texting me, you're going, "Hey, I'm having a little problems. Restart my computer, this and that." I'm like, "Okay, cool. We'll hold off as long as we can." And David and I were just sitting there just BSing and stuff, and then all of a sudden you're just like, "Hey, I'm having a really hard time. I'll get it, but I may just pop on." I said, "Okay, what we'll do, we'll go ahead and David and I will start to record, and then you could just pop on, kind of like what we did with the Langdells last week."
Right.
And here I give a hell of an intro. At least I thought it was a hell of an intro. And we're talking for probably about 12 minutes. We're talking for like 12 minutes at least. And I happen to look down, and every time that he spoke, I had flatline on my recording. It was just, it felt like one thing after another. So I was like, damn it. And then and I'm sitting there, I was like, all right, Dave, got to stop you for a second. We're going to go ahead and we're going to stop this, see what's going on here. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I knew it wasn't on his end. And
Right.
here at that time, within like 10 minutes, you pop on. It's like, all right, you know what? Let's just scrap it and we'll start over. You're here now. And so, yeah, probably like 45 minutes into it. And then we finally got the ball rolling. But a couple things I want to talk about with this episode. First and foremost,
Okay.
if you keep on at the end of the episode, to all of our listeners, this is just going to be a little, I never really have done this before, but I'm going to tie on the original opening. So you're mainly going to hear me talking, and you're going to hear when I'm talking to Dave, you're going to hear a little quiet, maybe some mumbles underwater. So you're going to hear that. You're going to hear all this is just kind of like what the kind of things that go wrong sometimes when you're podcasting. And I thought it'd be kind of fun just to throw that on at the end. So stay tuned after the episode's over and take a listen to that. It's fun. It's fun. Also, so I apologize for last week. We did do an episode. I posted it now. Mike called me out. Yeah, you texted me yesterday. I said, "Hey, man, actually, you called me." And you're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
just want to let you know that episode 45 isn't showing." So I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." Well, I was literally on my way home from work. I was like, "I'll check it out when I get there." And sure enough, it was 100% my fault and did not upload it. And so I did yesterday. So episode 45, we talk about the draft and just a couple other things here and there. It was a quick episode.
Yeah, it's maybe
And
like a 45-minute episode, something like that. It really
yeah,
wasn't like anything. It was just you and I just shooting shit, basically.
yeah, absolutely. And it was a fun episode. And I wish I would have recorded or put it up sooner. And then came this episode. During the first initial, which you'll hear if you stay tuned at the end of the episode, and you'll hear I got it right. But
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed this or not. But when we started the recording, when it was when you got on and we started the take two, so to speak, I said, welcome to Lights Camera Pop. This is episode 45. So, just so you guys know, what you're about to listen to is actually episode 46.
Whoops.
Yeah, I dropped the ball on that. Let me tell you, and that was another thing. If you have to listen, Mike, you have to listen to. Wait till the end of that piece that I did. I even mess up the name of one of Kevin Smith's movies.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. And then of course, yeah, Dave is so cool and we're just laughing about it. And I had talked about another experience I had where I did that to somebody else. And I did it to them with them on air. And they just kind of was not happy with that. But still, yeah, guys, make sure you stay tuned to the end. This is again episode 46.
And when we
Uh,
were talking about Kevin, I also wanted to talk to him about how when I met Kevin and got to talk with him a few times, but I totally forgot about doing that during the episode. But that's an episode that's a story for another episode.
I think so. Well, because he's going to come back.
Right.
He's 100% going to be back. You guys will really enjoy this episode. He is the most coolest, down to earth man you would ever hear and meet.
We've been quite fortunate with having some fantastic guests, and all of them have been like they all fight for being the best guest. Like for real. Like
I agree.
So many awesome people have graced us recently, and I can't thank all of them enough. So from the bottom of my heart, everybody, if you ever go back to listen to any of our stuff, thank you. You guys have all been phenomenal.
And I can't agree with you more because we are not Joe Rogan. We are not, I can't even tell you some of these other high end Michael Rosenbaum. He has a podcast. We're not these, actor turned, we're not in the business and we're just fans. We're enthusiasts but at the end of the day, we're fans and we love to talk to these people. And it's almost like getting to talk to your heroes, like getting to talk to people you look up to.
And the cool thing about us, like to be honest, not to pat us on the back, you know what I mean, or toot our own horn, but I'm going to toot our own horn. I think we're just a little bit off kilter when it comes to the way we do this because like we're very fly by night, and we want to hear their stories. We don't come in it with a pre-set list of questions. We don't want to hear the same stuff that they've always talked about over and over again. We kind of let them take the ship and then take the yoke of the plane and fly it to wherever they want.
Yeah.
And I think that it's kind of niche market for us, and I kind of dig it, and I think that's what makes it fun, and that's why they end up having good times with us, because it's not the same. How did you do this? Why did you write this? How did you come up with this idea? You know what I mean?
Not that those questions don't come up.
So your mom puts garlic in it? Oh, great! You know what I mean? And then we talk about flat tires for 2 hours. You know, it's just like the weirdest stuff.
And it's not like those questions don't come up because they do. I mean, it's a given. It's kind of like the nature of the beast. I mean, because you're always going to be curious and you're going to want to know. And
they come up organically.
Yes, I think for the most part we try to make it as organic as possible.
Agreed.
This one here, initially when I had reached out to David, I had this plan where I was like, okay, so what I want to do, because as you'll hear in the episode, David is working on getting Kevin Smith nominated for a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So when I saw a post regarding this, I'm like, I got to have him on the show. I reached out to him. I was like, dude, of course you'll hear all this in the episode too, but I was like, dude, like, I want to have you on the show. I would love to talk to you, like do a retrospective on Kevin Smith and talk about your career and everything like that. And then I was thinking like, oh, we were going to kind of do like a rundown, a countdown of all of his movies and talk about them, stuff like, in a sense, that's kind of where I was thinking it was going to go in my mind initially. But once I started talking to David, like I love his story. I love talking to him. Like everything about like he inspired me to kind of which you know yourself that like we've already been texting each other about something
Yep.
and it
I
was
kind of had a feeling that's where that came from.
yeah, like he totally inspired me to start doing some things and hopefully it can come to fruition but uh just talking to him like I said I loved hearing everything he had to say so um yeah I think that's about it I just wanted to touch base and let you guys know what was up so when you get into the music and after the show's done take a listen to the end of the episode I like I said it's a fun little thing that I feel like I messed up. Like it had to have been my fault, obviously, um, because he was fine. I could hear everything he was saying. But yeah, my intro, everything, it was just funny.
Look, we're human and we're not professionals. This isn't our way of life, so things get a little wonky, but that just makes for cooler stories.
However, if anybody's out there listening that is in a power or a level that can help us make this a professional thing and a way of life, reach out to us at
Hell
lightscamerapop
yeah.
at outlook.com. Just saying, or on Facebook at Lights Camera Pop.
And guys, if you're listening, if you can write a review too on any of our stuff, that would be fantastic.
Absolutely. Please. I'm trying to get I want to get the page starting to grow. I posted yesterday to have like share it, follow the Facebook page. We only have like honestly, and I don't want to like really like look down upon it, but we really our numbers, we're not even in the 200s yet of what's following us.
Right.
Listeners is completely different, but followers is um not as high and I would like to change that. I want to get some numbers up there. So give us some
Yeah,
reviews,
I mean, like
share
our
it.
downloads are good, but
Yeah, yeah.
like our, you know, we're chugging along there, which is nice. I've been trying to get us out there more, and on my business cards I
Yeah.
have our podcast on the back. So whenever I give the business cards out to anybody at a show, I always have, and this is my podcast. Me and my buddy Rich do a podcast. Check it out. So I always do that. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a banner for doing shows, and then I'm gonna have us on the banner as well.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea and that banner could come in handy next year.
Yep.
At something secretive that could
Yep.
may or may not happen. Well, we'll see. Well
No,
guys,
it's gonna happen.
it's going to happen. Yeah. Well guys,
It's
we've
gonna
taken
happen.
up enough of your time. Let's dive right into it. Get your geek on with us with episode 46 of Lights Camera Pop.
Think we're golden now,
I
guys.
Yeah,
think so
I've got it
too.
too.
All right. Welcome everybody to episode 45 of Lights Camera Pop. I'm your host, one half of the dynamic duo, Rich, and with me, as always, is Mike. Can you
Go
hear me,
ahead.
Mike?
Keep going. I got you.
Oh no, I mean you're here, so you can talk now.
I got you.
No, I'm gonna let you
I'm-
guys. We'll let you a little behind the curtain a little bit. We have been at this for like 45 minutes, and we're just now getting started. So we had some major technical difficulties. It's kind of taken me back to the Patricia Pat's episode. That was a lot
Yeah,
of,
really.
but I
Oh,
think
man.
this one we caught early on at least. So, but yeah, I think that this is going to be a great episode. It's already shaping up to be a fun time already. So, how was your day, Mike?
Not bad, not bad, not bad. I did halfway to Halloween today at the Monroeville Mall. Not a bad show, a lot of fun. It was impromptu, really wasn't supposed to do it. Brian gave me his table, and so packed up the van and headed on down and sold comic books to the masses.
Nice. Yeah, I feel better, Brian, because I texted him earlier just to see how he was doing. He's like, "Yeah, I'm sick." So sucks. It
So
sucks.
how was your day?
It was good. I worked as normal, but it was a weird Sunday because I think everybody knew it was going to be nice today, so nobody was out buying pop and shopping.
Yeah, surprisingly, no one was out buying comic books today either. So I
Yeah,
mean,
it was so bizarre, and like I got done kind of early, come home and ate dinner, and then went out and cut my grass. That was that's a chore in itself. I do want to do a quick little shout out, and I'm not going to go too far into it because the other time when I started to record was a little lengthier, but I want to give a shout out to my buddy Ryan. He's now a subscriber of Lights Camera Pop. Ran into him the other day, and I see him frequently, and I don't know why it just hit me, and I was like, "Dude, did I ever tell you I have a new show?" And his eyes lit up, and he's like, "No." And I said, "Oh, it's Lights Camera Pop. We're on iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, Amazon." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And he brings out his phone. He's like, "Subscribe to Apple." I was like, "Cool, thanks for that, man." And so, yeah, big shout out to Ryan for following us. One of my best friends in life. We used to work together, and he would we would be at a call center in between calls and talking about George Romero or Night of the Living Dead. He actually shot a segment for a Night of the Living Dead um, remake that they did of the original movie, but they broke it up in different segments, and you can do your own style of animation, puppetry, and then they cut it all together. And it was just so discombobulated, but it fits so well. And he actually did a scene in that, and it's
Oh,
called
cool.
Night of the Living Dead Reimagined. And when he got the DVD, he like signed it and he gave it to me, even though it was super cool. It was very nice that he did that. So yeah, big shout out to Ryan. Uh, so we'll get into this week's episode. I'm so excited to talk to this man right here. We've actually been talking for a little while, and now I'm even more excited to keep him on, which is why you messed up your internet and I kept messing up the recording just so I can keep him here longer.
Oh
Uh,
shucks, we talk all the time. You don't have to go into like this.
Makes
right.
sense.
Well, so the little backstory to this is I'm part of a Facebook page called The World of Kevin Smith. And I saw a post in there. And well, first of all, we know groups on Facebook are pretty cool because it's like a place, it's a page where you can get together and have conversations with people of the like minded. So I happened to see a post in there, and I don't normally like. I'm one of those people like I'll like a comment or maybe I'll make a comment here or there, but I don't like truly get in there and like interact and stuff like that. Um, but this one I couldn't help because I saw that this guy had posted something that caught my eye. It said, "Guys, I'm opening up my commissions. I'm an illustrator and an artist, and I'm opening up my commissions because Kevin Smith doesn't have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which right there is completely criminal that he doesn't." So it had my attention. Immediately, I messaged him and I was like, "Dude, like I checked out your profile. I love what you're doing. I would really like to have you on. Talk some Kevin Smith movies and talk about your career and how you get started in all this craziness." And he's like, "Yeah, I'll see if I'm not doing anything better." And then he got back. He's like, "Yeah, I'm doing. I'll come on the show with you." And so we have him. We have him tonight. Everybody, give it up for David VanDyke.
Thank you, thank you.
Uh,
I can't live up to that intro.
How's it going, man?
I'm good, man. How are y'all?
Real good. Happy to have you on. Um, like looking at your artwork and everything, you have some amazing artwork.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I want to start back with that
Okay.
before we get into a lot of the other stuff. But like, so was art, has it always been something that you've been like drawn to? No, no pun intended.
No,
Has it been something
no,
you're always drawn to?
no, not at all. No, I mean, I drew when I was a kid, and I was always pretty good at it. But no, in 2005, I had played in bands and worked as a musician for years, and I had stopped doing that, started working in the automotive field, and I broke my back in 2005.
Oh wow.
And when I broke my back, basically all options of work that were physical went right out the door
Hmm.
immediately. Well, anytime I wasn't playing in a band, I was always like framing houses or working on cars or, doing something like that to make money. And now those options were gone.
Yeah.
And so at one night, I was sitting around trying to think of like what I could do. And I was like, well, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a comic book artist. Like 25 now, maybe I could do that. Like I've got a bunch of free time. I'm gonna be sitting around a lot. And so originally I was just kind of like, what can I do to get good at drawing quickly? Like how could this has got to happen fast. And I know I'm not good enough to work, so like I need to practice. What could I do? And so I started thinking and I was like, Star Wars. If I just sit around and draw Star Wars, that'll teach me how to draw buildings and, spaceships and people. And like, that'll be the fastest way to get good at everything. And I
Sure.
found a guy. Go ahead.
I was just saying, sure, sure. I mean, it
And
has
so
everything in it.
I, I had searched like how to draw Star Wars or something like that, just randomly. And there was a guy named Matt Bush who works for Lucasfilm, does work for Lucas. He still to this day does like movie posters for Lucasfilm, who had done a book called How to Draw Star Wars.
Hmm.
And I messaged him, and it turned out like he was a musician that like got into art. Like our stories were very similar. He didn't break his back. I mean, like, there's that part.
Yeah.
Which personally I think he's missing out on. He should have tried. But he I messaged him and was just kind of like he paints these full blown like Drew Struzan style posters and was like asking him for tips and stuff and he like would tell me anything I wanted to know. Anytime I had a question, he would help me out. And so it started there and then I was like going down that path of like film poster, that type work, but not quite good enough, especially not painting. And I was real like sloppy with a brush. And so I went, well, how could I get good with using a brush? I know I could be an inker. Inkers use brushes, so that'll get me like real tight with a brush. And on Facebook, one night I saw a guy post that he was going to be inking some DC work that he did live on there was some, it wasn't YouTube yet, but some like live stream thing where you could have like a little chat room and, you know, stream live.
Mhm.
Guy's name was Jonathan Glopian. Jonathan Glopian is, in my opinion, the top inker in the business. He's
He's
Greg
great.
Capullo's inker.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, he was the guy. And so he started doing this like every night. And just by happenstance, I could stay awake longer. And he was on a deadline. And so he would start at like 10 o'clock at night, and you would see people drop off of the chat. I'm going to bed. It's 4 in the morning. And I would still be up. And
Yeah.
so in talking to him, he finally was like, well, you could just work for me and like I'll teach you how to do this. And so I started working with him. That was right around the time that Todd McFarlane and Robert Kirkman created a book called Haunt. And so Jonathan asked me one day, like, Jonathan started work for Todd McFarlane. That's where he started, actually with Chance Wolfe, who was like Todd's right hand man. And so Jonathan's like asking me one day on, he's calling me and he's like, "Yeah, I talked to Todd and there's this Haunt book. Have you heard of it?" And I'm like, "Yes, I know exactly what that book is." And he's like, "Yeah, okay, great." Like he asked if I could fill in on it. Should I? And I was like, "Yeah." And then he found out Greg Capullo was going to be coming on full time, and so he jumped all over it. And that's where we started. I started out spotting blacks for him and like doing a little background stuff here and there, which then got my foot in the door with Robert Kirkman, worked with him on Guarding the Globe. And then from there, I did, various DC Marvel stuff, bounced around. And I worked like that for, I don't know, 7 years or so until my back injury came back in to play. And then I had to take a couple years off. And so I just come back 2, 3 years ago, 3 years ish. So within 2 months of coming back, Kevin commissioned me to do a piece for his private collection, and then that got me in with him, and I was working on that when he had Dark Horse hit me up to do covers, and so now I do covers. I mean, I'm working on the interiors for my own book called Mercer, um, where we just put literally issue 3 just came in, so like I
I
just got
saw that.
this yesterday. Um, so we're working on that. I've got 2 more issues of that to do. I'm doing the interiors and the covers. And then I'm going to take a short break because burnout's a real thing. When you draw 16 hours a day every day.
I can imagine.
And then I have another book with the same guy named Jason Seibel, who we're working on a book called Star Lancer. That's like a sci-fi book that's insane. I mean, the first issue's 50 pages. Like it's
Ooh,
nuts. Yeah.
wow.
So, but yeah, it was this, I've always gotten this weird way of like getting work in the art field. It's always kind of been like by accident, sort of. I'm always like in the right place at the right time.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like it was one of those things that it was just meant to be for you, and you were just in that spot where you needed to be
Right.
whenever you got involved on this pathway.
Right.
Providence.
Right.
Yeah. But it makes the imposter syndrome 10 times worse. Because I'm always like, one day they're gonna figure it out. Like, I'll tell Kevin that all the time. I'm like, don't fire me. I promise I know what I'm doing.
So you didn't go to art school or anything like that, and you
Well, I did. I did. I went to School of the Arts for about 6 months, and then I started working with Jonathan inking. And that's happened to me twice in my life. I went to school to do audio design originally at Full Sail University and do like their, you know, condensed course or whatever.
Mhm.
And within like 2 months of being in school, I got a job doing the thing I was in school for.
Oh wow.
And so the same thing happened where like I'm in school trying to keep my schoolwork up, but I'm getting paid to do the thing that I'm going to school to get a job to do. So why be in school?
That's amazing. I mean,
And
and
so, you know,
you had done you said you have this Mercer book. Now,
yeah,
how did that come about? Because the from what I was looking at, it's very Punisher-esque in a
yes,
sense.
yes. So my partner in crime, Jason, I guess 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I had found out from a little birdie who will not be named that the G.I. Joe license was up.
Oh,
And I had also found out that Skybound was the top bidder for it. Skybound is owned by Robert Kirkman. And so I had posted up on Twitter like something to the effect of like, I hear that GI Joe, the GI Joe license is now in play. It would be cool to pitch for this and like pitch a story idea. And Jason is a vet and he's the like jumped all over it and was like, I've got a story right now. Like I always wanted to be a writer, you know, but I don't know. I love comic books, but I don't know anything about the business. Like if you'll work with me, you know, we'll do it. And so we started there, and then talking to some people, I found out that Skybound did have the license, but they were going to do something completely different, and they already kind of had their team set up. And so I told Jason, and he was like, "Well, I've got this other thing that it's a passion project. I always wanted to do it. I'm a big fan of Punisher, so it's kind of like that. What do you think?" And at the time, there was no way that I could work on the book and continue to buy food and live. So it was like, I can't take this book on because I wouldn't get paid. Like I own part of it. And if I, you know, where would the money come from? Like that
Right.
type thing. And so I designed the book. He went off, found a guy like a little while later. They kind of got the ball running. And the guy's was amazing. He's a great artist, but turns out he's like in Belgium or somewhere like that, and he's got a lot of work on his plate.
Hmm.
Good, I can't say enough good things about him. Amazing artist. And I would say his name if I could pronounce it, but I can't. So we just crap. I sorry. Um, but it was taking him a little too long to get the books out.
Hmm.
And when you're dealing with Kickstarters, especially, you want to be on top of it and you want the books to come out. And so, being a co-creator of it, I was like, well, right about now, I'm kind of freed up. I'm doing stuff for Kevin. I'm working on a project for Kevin that I can't talk about, but it's big in scope and takes a lot of time. And kind of the best I can say about it is it goes back to what I originally in my career thought that I was going toward before I shifted into comics to get better at using a brush.
Okay.
Um, and a book of that. So there's a lot to it. And so I was like, you know, I can step in and finish this off. Like I'll get us to the finish line. So it's 5 issues. I've got 2 more to go. 3 just got done, and we'll see where it goes from there, you know, and what we do from there. But it's basically Punisher. If Punisher was chasing Doctor Strange's villains type thing, I guess
Is it self-published?
it is. Yeah, yeah. It's through Jason started up the company just to get a publishing title on it, but it's Alamo City Comics. But yeah, we
Okay.
self-publish and we run Kickstarters, you know, to get the books out each issue. But we always have a bunch of extras, you know. I mean, I know Secret Stash carries it, and there's a couple little places around. Anybody that wants it, we try to get books to them.
Right. Um, how how is the crowdfunding for comics? How does that? Because I know I see it all the time for movies, short
Right.
films. I see that. And on the scope of it though, how does it work? How well does it do for comics?
That's a tricky question. And I say that because there is a group of comic book creators who have somehow managed to pull hundreds of thousands of dollars on their Kickstarters.
Mhm.
And I'm intentionally not naming them because this is not somebody that we want to shine a lot of light on.
Fair,
But
fair enough.
they've done that. And from the outside, it seems like there's a lot of overpromise, underdeliver.
Hmm.
a lot of we've gotten a bunch of money, and now that I have 100 G's in the bank, why do I need to draw a comic book type thing?
Wow.
So all I can speak to is at ground level, it's very difficult because it's the same problem with everything in art. It's finding your market, but the harder thing is getting the information in front of people who would care.
Right.
Like the with Kevin's thing and the star on the Walk of Fame, I had posted about that for 3 or 4 days before I ever posted in Kevin's that little group on Facebook. And that was more of just like, oh, I should probably tell his fans that I'm doing this.
Kind of like know your audience kind of thing.
Right. And no, I think I'd gotten one commission because who cares? And then when I posted it on Kevin's page, by the end of the first day, I was having to turn people down.
That's fantastic.
So if you can get your stuff in front of people who are fans, it's gravy train. That's where you want to be. As long as you do right by your fans. Like for us, we always try. We don't kickstart until the book's almost done. I mean, when we started our Kickstarter, there were 2 pages left to be colored. The book was drawn, it was done. We were waiting on the last 2 pages to come in before we even launched
Mhm.
because we don't want to tell you a book's coming and then I have a heart attack and now he's got to go find another artist and now we're 6 months down the road and you don't have a book. That's not fair to you.
Right.
So we try to wait until we're done and then kickstart it, but it's getting it in front of the people that will care. There's a
Absolutely.
market for everything if you can
I
find your people.
I'm a big fan of there was an independent comic book called I Lucifer, which turned into Poison Elves by Drew Hayes. And they did a Kickstart to re-release all of the uh PE stuff. And I was part of that. And they were one of the people that I will say knocked it out of the park. They did every time they do a volume, because let's just face it, the art's already there. It's already,
Right.
it's already existing and everything like that. So, um, what they did was they just repackaged it and they put it in like a leather binder, and you got all kinds of free stuff with it, postcards, this like, and they nailed it.
Right.
That was one Kickstart that I would say was just phenomenal. And I do want to say one thing. You were talking about Matt Bush earlier.
Yeah.
I met Matt um in the 90s, right when he was just starting to get with doing Star Wars art. He was doing the cards for
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I have one of his the prototypes for one of
Hmm.
his cards.
Hmm.
I'll send you a picture of it later on after we're done.
Awesome. Do it. Yeah, I want to see it. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah, the thing with the Kickstarter that I battle with is this, and I'm gonna pose the question to you guys because y'all would be the best people to answer it. As an artist, I don't know if it's fair to my audience to come to you and say, "Hey, I've got this idea, and here it is," and lay out the idea and say, "Look, it's gonna take me 3 months to draw this." But if y'all, if we do this Kickstarter and I raise enough money, then it affords me to where I can pay my bills and draw the book. There's a big debate on in the comic world on this side between the people that work in comics as to is that fair, is that ethical? To come to your audience and say, I've got to live. I need this money's going to be for bills. You're paying for me to be able to sit and make this thing that I've thought up. So that's what you're paying for. And then you'll get the book when I'm done versus I've made this thing and now I need you to buy it so that I can publish it and get it to you.
it's 110% ethical. Yes,
I
it is
agree. I
ethical.
agree 100%.
I don't think my take on that is we are your fans. We should be able to help you as well. And yes, it's ethical. What I would say would be unethical is if you would say, I have this idea for a book or print or XYZ, and then you launch your Kickstart and then you ghost the world.
Right.
That is unethical. As long as you fulfill your obligated ends, then yes, it's 100% ethical. I agree with it. Um, and like you said earlier, the key for what you said earlier was under deliver. As long as you deliver what you promise or over deliver, fantastic. If
Right.
you under deliver, no, then yeah, you're in the unethical. Then you kind of turn into like, yeah, he turned it in, but man, did he just dial this in? Like as long as you don't dial it in, you put in solid work, then yes, it's 100% ethical.
There's nothing I can even remotely add to that would make that answer any more better. I
Right.
completely agree with you 100%.
And that's how I feel, but at the same time, as a creator, you are always balancing like I don't want to get in a position where we have to come back to people and go, "Hey, this thing happened," or Jason's house got knocked down by a monster and we gotta wait. Like, I would rather wait till it's done as long as we can do that. But there is a big debate. There's a big back and forth about that because there have been a lot of big name creators in comics. One of the image guys that kick-started raised six figures, and it's been 11, 12 years.
Yeah, I
And
know what you're talking about. I'm not going to say any names either.
not only did he not deliver the book, but then he came out last year and said, "Oh, I'm doing the book, but I'm going to release it through Image, and it's not the book I was going to make then. And oh, by the way, never mind the money that I got and never did anything with, even though I make
Yeah,
seven
that's
figures a year anyway."
that's not cool at all.
Right.
It's
Like,
no, that is completely unethical because that almost borderlines theft, in my
I
opinion.
think it does as well. I agree
Sure.
completely. That's what it is.
It
And
is. It's true. It's that's theft. I don't care what anybody says. That is 100% theft
and
because you promised
right.
a whatever. You promised a widget.
Yep.
Someone paid for said widget,
Yep.
but no one got said widget. So
Yeah.
yeah, you stole their money for making that widget.
Yeah. And
And it
I understand it's the Conor McGregor problem. Dana White of the UFC said after Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather and made like $60 million or something, Dana White got asked in an interview, "Do you think Conor is going to come back to the UFC and fight?" And Dana White's response was, "It's very hard to get up in the morning and get punched in the face all day when you have $60 million in the bank."
Oh, for sure.
And the same thing is true. It's very hard to get up and be motivated to sit at a table for 12, 14, 16 hours a day and grind a book out when you've got 100 grand in the bank. But the problem is you have to remember where that 100 grand came from.
Yep.
And so that's why we do it the way we do it. It's a personal thing with us. We've thought about like with Starlancer because it's going to be a way more involved thing pitching to people and going, "Hey, this is what we're wanting to do." But it's going to be a lot of downtime because I've got to draw the thing. So we've talked about it, but at the end of the day, we both feel better knowing that the book is done so that you're getting what we're telling you you're going to get. Because I can't imagine taking money from people who are
Right.
supporting what I do and they're the reason that I get to do what I do and then not delivering what I told them I was going to give them.
Absolutely.
Oh
And
heck yeah! I mean, they're your well, first off, yeah, first off, they're your fans. So you don't want to disappoint your fans. Like you always hear that old adage, you don't want to meet your heroes because
Right.
sometimes they can disappoint you.
Yeah,
Don't be that asshole that's disappointing.
exactly.
If you're gonna if you're counting on these people to literally put bread on your table, then give them what they want. They
Right.
were kind enough because let's face it, shit's hard right now. They
Yeah.
were kind enough to dig into their pockets and give you whatever they can afford, whether it's $5 or $500. You owe it to
Yeah.
them
Literally.
to
Yeah.
give it back to them.
I agree. I agree completely. I think I have the opposite problem. Like I don't charge enough half the time. Like I have a
No,
hard,
know
and
your worth, man. Know your worth. My
and I
wife
have a
says that all
hard
the
time.
time.
I have a hard time with that. Like I have a real hard time, when somebody buys a piece of art. Prime example, I just sold the cover that I did for the Quick Stops Volume 3, the Kevin Smith Club cover that I did. It's a double page, like it's double size, and I just sold it. And when I sold it, I had a price and got it, and I know what it's worth, and it's worth that price all day long, probably more. But then when I got paid, I was still like, man, I don't know. Like maybe I should send him some of this back. Like, and when he got the art, he was stoked on it. He posts about it all the time. But and it's
No,
weird because I buy original art. Like I'm that guy that buys stuff, so I know that I would spend whatever. But in my head, I start like going, man, I don't know. Like maybe I shouldn't. Like maybe I should just give it to him.
Yeah.
I'm too nice.
okay. Like you, I'm a comic book dealer. That's what I do for a living.
Right on.
I sell comics and
Hello,
art.
new best friend.
I sell comics, I sell toys, I sell records, and I sell art. And that's my shtick. And I see you have a Deftone shirt on. Cool. Um, so um, and I like you, like I just did a show today. And when I was there, I'm just like, well, sometimes I'm looking at my prices and I'm just like, it's kind of high. You know what I mean? But then I look at them and I'm just like, but it's still below what everybody else is getting. I'm normally 10 to 15% below what the other dealers are asking for. And I normally have nicer stuff. And I'm just like, but at the same time, I guess it's the punk rock in me too, because I'm just like, oh, I don't want to,
Yeah,
I don't feel like that asshole, but at the same time, I gotta eat.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and
You know what I mean?
that's
We
the
do that
truth
though.
of it.
We tell my daughter that all. So my daughter, she does art,
Okay.
and she commissions her stuff, and she had done a couple portraits of a woman's dog. Hand
Hmm.
paint. She got canvas. She hand painted it and everything, and turned out gorgeous. And she only charged like not even $100.
Oh wow. Yeah,
And
I'd be
like
higher than
we're
that.
looking at her like the stuff that she's doing. It's like you could be getting paid on this kind
Yeah,
of stuff. And but she also looks at it too, where is like she is providing a service for one because
right,
she knows that this woman loved her dog, and
right.
then she gets to do what she loves. And if she makes a little scratch out of it, then hey, so be
And
it.
and that's fine until you become an adult and you have a house to pay for and
True.
people relying on you. And then and I've gotten better over the past couple of years. My fiance's made me get better because I'll work on stuff and way underprice it.
Mhm.
And then I'll sell it and she'll get so mad. And she's like, you spent 3 weeks working on that, you idiot. Like, if you went to work a 40-hour week at a normal job for minimum wage, you would have made more money. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
I get it. 'Cause, like my wife always says to me, because I'm pricing stuff, I'm doing things, and I'm just like, I can't believe that this book is going for this much. I'm like, I feel weird putting this price on it. And she's
mhm.
like, no, and she's always like, know your worth. Know your worth.
Yeah, and that's true. That's true. That and working with Kevin more so, not even Kevin, I'm drawing a blank on Mike from Comic Book Man.
Mike Zapsik.
Yes, Zapsik. I can't believe he's gonna be so mad. I forgot. Mike Zapsik's the one that taught me like you ask for what you want.
Don't worry, we're not going to edit that out either. So
No, make sure you keep that in. I
Well,
want him to know.
I hope one of our five or tens of people who listen, I hope that they share this to him
They
and
clip that to him. Van Dyke forgot your name.
right.
He'll be
That's okay. It
so
could have been worse than what I said on the
right.
first edit. So
I'll get a text message. Like,
and I was thinking, real quick, when I get all this edited together, I'm actually gonna record a little intro at the end, and I'm gonna cut that
yeah,
mess
yeah.
up just to have like a little behind the scene outtake
You
that
should.
everybody could listen to.
You
So,
should.
but
um,
we are talking about like knowing your worth. Like this is just a funny little caveat story that happened today. I took my daughter with me, and my daughter's 16. And so of course, she's oh God, I gotta go
Yeah.
hang out with all these nerds. So we're there and she fell asleep on two folding chairs. I'm like, how the hell did she do that? She was like, and the lady next to me, one of the vendors next to me, she's like, man, I wish I could do that. And I was like, well, I was like, here's the thing. I was like, she wants to be a filmmaker when she gets older. I was like, so she's practicing now to be homeless.
Yeah. That's
Like,
exactly what it is.
and everyone just started laughing. I was just, and Avery just looked at me. She's like, shut up, Dad.
you need to edit the picture that you posted and put like a cardboard sign that says we'll make independent film for food and
Right.
just
Like when I did my one post, like where I was going to be today, I was like, coming out, blah blah blah. I was like, and feed the Avery. That's my daughter's name.
it's so funny. So back like reeling it back in and like kind of
Yeah,
winding
I
down
didn't mean
too.
to
No,
sidetrack
no, no,
everyone.
no. Believe me,
Yeah,
our
really.
show is based on tangents and sidetracking. But I do want to bring up as we're winding down to uh, talk about Kevin and his films. Like, what was the film that got you into uh, liking his work and admiring his
Clerks.
person that he was?
Clerks. Clerks was I was in seventh grade, I think. Clerks had just come out, and I was in a band. Like I'd started like one of my first band, and so like we were always hanging out in the band room, and we would put Clerks on and just play it, and it was like they talk like we talk, like they sound like us.
Relatable. It was a very relatable
Like,
feel to it.
and it's like it's grimy and dirty and like we're that way. Like that's what we're going for. We're metal musicians. This is great. And so for in eighth grade, eighth or ninth, we tried out for the talent show playing Stoned, which is by Silverchair, off of the Mallrats soundtrack
Yes.
because we were such big fans of Silverchair and Mallrats. Um, so yeah, I mean, right off the jump, like Clerks was my jam when I was younger, and then as I've gotten older, the films seem to hit right in line with like where my life, like we're tracking together, you
It's
know.
so funny. Mike and I was just talking about this the other day because we all feel like we've really grown up alongside of these
Right.
films. Um, and that's why I said, like watching Clerks is by far still one of the greatest experiences because it is exactly relatable, like I said. But then you jump to Reboot. And I have to say, like, I absolutely love Reboot. And it has so much heart. And now I can't watch that movie because I have grown children,
Right.
and the scenes with Jay and Harley
Hmm.
just makes you tear up. It chokes you up because
Yeah.
it's so amazingly written. And then his newest one, the 430 movie, not the movie
Right. I
43.
gotta be honest. I have not seen the 430 movie. I know. I
Oh,
know. I know.
listen, that became quickly one of my absolute favorite movies, and I've probably watched it now more than I've watched Clerks and Clerks 2.
My co-creator on Mercer, Jason, texted me right after he saw it. I think he saw it opening weekend. And he texted me and he was like, I went on a date night with my wife to the 4:30 movie. Not only is it a great movie and it made me cry, but I also feel like I'm a kid.
So well written, so well shot, and it you when you see Austin as the young
Right,
Kevin, like you feel like that's you.
right.
Like going through the first loves and going for the first job. No spoilers, but
You can spoil it, it's fine.
yeah, like going to the movies, and it hit on every feeling what that you could possibly have.
Think that's what people tend to sleep on is they think of Kevin as the he's the silly guy that like when he's on the late show he takes over the segment and he's funny and you know they forget he's like a really good writer.
Yeah,
Like really good. He has crafted that to a level that there's a reason that he stuck around this long. And it's not just because he can pull a couple thousand people into a room by saying the word clerks. Like he is an accomplished writer. He is very good at what he does.
His
absolutely.
comic book writing is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Like the comic book writing to me is, I think it's better than than any of his movie writing. And the reason why I say that is because it's so diverse. And
right.
he's written for so many different characters, and each one of those characters have their own personalities, and he's nailed it each and every time.
Sure.
Um, and so I enjoy his comic book work more than his film work lately. And I know that's really odd to say, but I really do. It just to me, like you said, he's a phenomenal writer. His pen to paper is outstanding. And what Rich and I talked about once earlier, in the week, we were talking about like his maturity and how he's grown as a writer and a filmmaker as well. So
Yeah,
like he's like when we were first watching it, like you said earlier, we were kids. We loved the dick and fart joke. They
yeah.
were funny to us.
Yep,
Now that we're grown up and we have families, we more tend to like those type of things because we can be like, and he still has the dick and fart jokes. And let's face it, we're still 12-year-olds. So like
at heart, yeah,
we could laugh at that, but at the same time, we're just like, oh man, that's got the feels. You
yeah.
know,
I think the bravest thing that he did, and it was smart, was he was doing a tour. I want to say it was before Reboot, but he was making it a point because when you watch him on different podcasts, he tends to tell like the same story and he may change the way he tells it, but he makes sure that across platforms that message is getting out. And he went on a little bit of a run where his whole thing was, I can't make clerks again. Not because I don't know how. I'm not that guy. I
right,
haven't I haven't worried about paying my light bill in 30 years. You gave me all this.
Yeah,
Now I'm supposed to go write a movie about how life is hard and I don't have the money to pay this and I can't meet anybody to be friends with. I'm surrounded by thousands of people that are my friends. And I don't have a problem paying my light bill. How am I supposed to tell that story? I have to tell the story that happens right now that I relate to.
right.
And when he started telling that across platforms, I remember watching it and going like, that's it's bold to
hmm,
have the guts to do that because you risk alienating a huge portion of your, you're not going to dick and fart joke me to death. Well, then to hell with this. But it's also smart because you're letting people know like there's a reason you're not getting that. And you don't want me to tell you that because it's
Right.
going to be a lie. And you're not
Right.
going to relate to it because I don't know how to tell you it. I can't relate to it.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, it'll just sound like it's just phoned in.
Yep.
Right. Exactly.
That's why one of my other favorites from Kev is the I keep saying Kev like we're on a first name basis, but the
You can say it. I am on a first name basis with him.
okay, thank you, appreciate it. The one other movie that like I am a huge fan of, and it's for the twists and turns, is Red State.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a beautifully shot film, and it takes you in so many different directions. And
Yeah.
I love his writing style for it because he said, I've listened to the interviews, and he had said that, listen, when I knew where it was going to go, I would turn it. I would
Mhm.
change the writing because the audience is smart.
Yeah.
And he wrote that so well, and he directed it well. Like John Goodman was amazing in that movie. And again, Michael Parks. I mean, you can't really direct Michael Parks.
No. I feel like Red State was Kevin's statement of like, no, I can do what y'all are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Choose not to.
And it's such a slept on movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's
Another
such a
thing,
slept on movie.
another thing that I like about him was the View Askew stuff when he was doing that. That was a vehicle for his friends. I mean, like with movies like Drawing Flies and stuff like that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was great because he was also like, yeah, I'm here now, and instead of pulling the ladder up behind him, he put the ladder down further so other people can can climb up. And not only that, like the clerks, just well, we're getting back to clerks for a minute there. That just proved to people like Rich and myself and you that $30,000 can put out a pretty freaking good movie, and
It
you
can
can
change
do
your
it
life.
on your own. And
It can
yeah,
change your life.
and you can
Absolutely.
do it on your own.
Yes.
And the one thing that I learned from Kevin Smith in my life is to say, I can do it myself.
Yeah.
I got that from punk rock, being in
Mhm.
punk rock, the DIY attitude.
Oh yeah.
And then Kevin basically saying, I had a couple of credit cards, I maxed them out, I took the shot.
Yeah. Well, and to touch on your statement about him not pulling the ladder up, you hear a lot from him now about he always talks about, I hired this person to, to enhance this or to make it better, not just execute, elevate. You hear him say that a lot now. What a lot of people don't know, and I can say this because I've seen it firsthand behind the scenes, that's what he does. That's what he does with everything. Is you hit him up. A prime example, when I went to the Secret Stash 2 years ago to do the signing with him, I originally had said, "Hey man, give me a table at your movie theater off to the side and let me just do sketches for people that are standing in line because they have to stand in line to wait to come in to see you. I'll set up a little table, I'll do little 30-second sketches of whatever they want. It'll give them something to entertain them."
That's
And
that.
that's what I asked for. That's what I was told. Yes, come to New Jersey, we'll do that. And I thought, cool, I'll see my buddy. I'll get to hang out with the fans, draw some stuff, be a cool weekend, be a cool day.
Yeah,
Right.
that's so dope.
And then I got an email saying, call Mike Zapsik. So I called Mike, and Mike was like, hey, man, what do you need? And I was like, I need a table and like a chair or two. And he's like, that's all you need for a signing? And I was like, I'm not doing a signing. Like, I'm going to be at the movie theater and I'll do some sketches and it'll take 30 seconds and the people. And Mike was like, no, Kevin said you're doing a signing with him on Saturday and Sunday at the Secret Stash. You're going to sign volume 3. You did, or volume 2, you did the cover. So you'll sign that and the collected editions out. You'll sign those and you'll sign with Kevin both days. we have a whole event. Like Brian O'Halloran's going to be here, Jeff Anderson's coming in, but we're not telling anybody that, so keep your mouth shut. But like the whole Clerks gang minus Jay is going to be here, and you're going to do the signing with Kevin, and then we're all going to go to the movie theater, and you're going to take part in what goes on over there. And I was like, I don't have a plan for that. And Mike Zapsik said something that to this day resonates with me before I text Kevin. Mike Zapsik said, "You asked to come do something with Kevin Smith and you don't have a plan?" And
I,
I was like, without saying it, I was like, holy shit, like he's a busy man. I'm wasting his time. I'm wasting everybody's time. What am I doing here? And then Mike was like, oh, I'm just fucking with you. Like, we'll get a chair and like some stuff. We'll get you set up. It'll be fine. But in that moment, it was like, I told Kevin when I got there, I was like, dude, I was just wanting to like hang off to the side. No, like you took that and turned it into this big thing and like all these people. And he's like, yeah, if you're gonna be here, like you're part of the family, man. Like we do this. So like, you did a cover, like we're gonna do more. And then we were getting ready to go back to the hotel, and he looked at my fiance and he was like, y'all are coming to the movie theater, right? Like, I got another show. Like, I guess. Like, yeah, of course you are. Come on. And so we went to the theater and took part in all of that. You know, we were yelling jokes back and forth while he was auctioning stuff. Like
God.
Kevin says that trying to give advice to elevate instead of execute. But he's saying that from a place where I wish that someone would say, because he never would, but someone should say, like, that's what he does.
Yeah.
I tell him that all the time. I'm like, dude, I have an idea and you turned it into something way bigger and way better.
And that is you can always see that everything that he has done, it's where it starts off as a little nugget of an idea and then it turns into this massive masterpiece.
Yeah, no,
Basically, basically, someone plants the seed and then he waters it.
right. He thinks in a grander term. Another little behind the scenes, when I first got hired to do a commission for him, he come through, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he came through Charlotte when he was touring Clerks 3 on that tour.
Mhm.
We did a stop in Charlotte, so of course I met him here. And you know, I got there, I didn't have he put me on the list, and everybody goes through and takes their pictures and meets with him, and I'm last because I'm gonna hang out. And we're standing there talking, and he goes, "Hey man, I haven't paid you for the commission yet. Like you never told me how much it was." And I was like, "Well, dude, it's a painting of you and like your friends, and I'm supposed to charge you for painting you and the people you know? Like, I don't know. I don't know how much it is." And he looks at me and he goes, "Throw me a number. Shoot." And I said, "Dude, I don't know, man. I feel bad like just saying anything. Like you've already given me a little bit." And he looks at me and he goes, "Well, just what do you want?" And I said, "I'll tell you what I want. I want more work." And he goes, "Done. That was going to happen anyway. How much money do you want?" And I was like, "Dude, I don't, if you're going to give me more work." And he goes, "You're in Kevin land now. And in Kevin land, you can have both."
I
Oh,
would like to join Kevin Land.
right?
Right? We all want to live in Kevin land.
Right?
But he thinks in terms, it's never this or that.
Right.
It's either let's do both, or how do we make them both one thing so that we get to do them both. And I pitched him in when I was in New Jersey right before we were leaving. I mean, I was on my way out the door, and I had an idea hit me, and I was giving him a hug to leave, and I was like, "Thanks, man, appreciate it, I'll see you." And I went, "Oh, by the way, let me pitch you something real quick." And he's like, "Shoot." And I pitched him this idea, and he goes, "I love it. Let's do it." And I said, "Sweet. So how do I?" Because at the time I didn't have his number. And he was like, sweet, send me some stuff. And I said, well, how do I do that? And he goes, well, how have we been talking? And I said, through Twitter. Like I message you on Twitter. Like I tag you on stuff on Twitter. And he was like, what? Give me your phone. And he gives me his number and he's like, we're gonna do this thing. About a year into working on it, and I'm 2 years in now, I still have a ways to go. Um, I got real frustrated and real down. Just like I don't know what I'm doing. This looks terrible. Nobody's gonna buy this. Like I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting his time. And I not talked to him in a while. I texted him. I said, "Hey man, you probably don't remember because it's been a year, but like I had pitched you a thing and you said do it, and like I don't know that I can even do it. Like I don't. It just doesn't seem like I'm really any good at this." And so, I think I'm going to bow out unless, you want me to finish it. He texts me back details of what the thing was and was like, absolutely not. Keep going.
Hmm.
Like, we have to do this. And I know exactly what you pitched me. And this dude hears stuff all
every
the
day.
time,
That's
Yeah.
all
beautiful.
the time. I mean, in a 6 hour signing, I heard more pitches for things than I could ever recount. And he knew it in detail and was right there with like, no, you have to do it. And here's why you have to do it. And this is, if you weren't any good, you wouldn't be on this project. I wouldn't have you doing covers for me. Like, it's just a down moment. And
Right.
then, and so that got me up and going. This cover that I did, this most recent cover for volume 3 for the collected edition of Quick Stops, that is the Kevin Smith Club exclusive, which I have been told by Dark Horse will also become the Secret Stash exclusive. I don't know if that's true. I don't. I've had people messaging me when I put the picture of it up. People have been blowing me up about where do I get that cover? I don't know. I wish I did. I would give you all covers. I don't know. Kevin texted me a picture when he did his signing, to sign a bunch of books. Text me the picture of like, look, I'm signing your book. And so I know that he's done that part, but I don't know.
Right.
Um, but this all ties together, I promise. Um, I was hired to do that cover, and in the middle of working on that cover, on May 9th, I had a major back surgery. I had my 10th back surgery. They rebuilt half of the lower part of my spine, and my mother died while I was in surgery.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
And so I came out of surgery having to immediately leave the hospital because you have time frames where you have to sign for certain things and stuff. So I couldn't even stay in the hospital long enough to heal. I needed to be out. And I text Kevin and told him, "Hey, I just had back surgery. My mom died at the same time. I might be late on this cover. If so, that's why. If please don't fire me. But if you do, I get it." Like, I mean, I didn't know what to think. Like, all
Right.
this stuff's just
Well,
happened.
yeah.
I'm just
I
reacting.
mean, like, I can't even imagine being in that position.
My first thought is I'm working on this big time cover for this like major movie guy. I'm like, oh my, what am I going to do? And not only did he not fire me, but Kevin got me through what parts my fiance, of course, is my rock and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But Kevin helped me so much when my mom died, and then 2 months later, his mom died. And it was weird in that few times in life do you get to repay somebody what they gave you,
Right.
and I got to give it back because I just went through it. And so we had a lot of conversations about what we were, because we're both, it was fresh. Like it was fresh for me. It just happened to him. We both had a similar situation of kind of seeing it coming. Like we kind of knew. Doesn't make it any easier, but like,
For
at
sure,
least
for sure.
that. And to sum it up, I got to pay him back for that. But the cool thing was the cover that I did, parts of this cover that I just did are from the project I'm working on with Kevin from 2 years ago. Because it was him going, let's give them a nod and a wink of what's coming and see if anybody catches what it is.
Oh, I'm gonna have to pick this book up.
But also, but also you've already done some of this work. So like, can we use this piece of it and they won't see this part of it, but they'll see this part of it? And I was like, yeah, we can do that. And he's like, great, let's do that. And that's the way he thinks is let's take the idea and we're going to make it this bigger thing. And then when you're working with him, once you get past the intimidation, and there's definitely that because you feel pressure.
Mhm.
No, like this dude could pick anybody in the world to draw a cover for him. He doesn't need me, but he's been kind enough to give me the job.
For sure.
But once you get past that and you learn how to work with him, Kevin's favorite thing in the world is for people who do creative things to do their job. If you can come to him, he sent me originally his original idea for this cover. I completely scratched. I was like, nope, won't work, won't fit on the cover, can't be produced. Like, you're killing me. I can't do this. Logistically, this does not work. Here's what it should be. And I sent him back the thing, and he was like, awesome, do that. And anytime, as long as you give him something better, he's down.
See, that's great because a lot of times people are just like my way or the highway.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
no,
when you find that person that realizes that, okay, yeah, my way is okay, but this is better, and then can incorporate it, that's phenomenal. That's true leadership.
yeah,
Yes, it
and
is.
that's how he is. It's the best idea wins. He gives you a framework. We're gonna work inside of this, and then I hired you to do it, execute it, make it happen. It's the
Right.
George Lucas thing. There was a model maker when they were working on Empire, who was working on some model, like they were working on prototypes or something, and Lucas happened to be in the room, and the model maker, thinking like George is right here, was like, well, I'll just ask him what this thing should be. And so he goes, hey, George, come here for a say, should this be like this or should it be like that? And George Lucas looked at him and went, I think that's your job. And walked off. And when you have people, that's how Kevin is. I hired you. So give me you.
Yep. That's
And that's rare. That's rare to
That's
find.
very rare.
yes, it is. It's a beautiful thing. So, and like, I hope everybody's taken away from this the reason why this man deserves
Oh,
the star that is
Oh,
absolutely.
yes.
coveted by most people, or not. Well, I don't want to say by most people, but it's a coveted thing, and he truly does deserve to have this star on the Walk of Fame. And I love the fact that you're taking like the time to do this because it
Oh,
needs to
yeah.
happen. And I think everybody should like go to your website, go look at find these posts and say, I want to commission some work. I want to be part of this because really you're being, I want to say part of history, but you're
Yeah.
contributing, to this and you are helping.
Sure. Yeah. No, and I need to really make sure that I shout out my fiance Cherie is the reason because I was telling you before we went, none of this happens without her.
She's the real MVP, right?
I never again, she asked me offhandedly in talking about something else that I was telling her that Kevin's doing. Um, she just offhandedly asked me, like, "Hey, does he have a star on the Walk of Fame?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course he does. It's fucking Kevin Smith, Clerks,
Yeah,
Jake Green,
Right.
obviously."
absolutely.
And then the next day, I was thinking about it, and I was like, Kevin talks about his accomplishments, and I've never heard it on a podcast. I didn't hear it on An Evening with Kevin Smith. I've never heard him say, "Oh, this past weekend I was at my Star on the Walk of Fame thing and blah blah blah." I think we would have heard of it, and
Yeah.
I've never heard of it. And so I think I chat GPT'd it, and it said Jay and Silent Bob have a star, and I was like, oh, okay, well then there you go, that counts. And then like I started thinking about it again, and I was like, still, I think I would have heard of that. So I Googled it, and Google was like, no. And I was like, okay, now I'm not sure. And I try not to text Kevin unless it's about work. If it's about work, then fine, but I don't try to blow him up in his day to
Right.
day. He's a busy
Right.
dude.
Yeah.
But I texted him and I was like, hey man, I'm getting conflicting info here. Like, so just to clarify, I saw that like Jay and Silent Bob have a star on the Walk of Fame, but you don't. Like, is that true? Or and he wrote me back and he was like, neither I nor Jay and Silent Bob have a star on the Walk of Fame. And I was like, what? Well, can I nominate you? Like, are you cool with that? And he was, and then I looked, and part of the nomination, number one, you got to know the person, but part of the nomination is to make you prove you know them, is you have to get a letter from them stating that they will show up to the ceremony if they're picked.
Right.
And I texted him back and said, hey, I need a letter from you saying blah, blah, blah. And he wrote me back and I was, now we have two questions. We've got, can I nominate you? And will you send me a letter to say you'll show up? And he wrote me back, I would be honored if you nominated me, and you bet your ass I'll show up. And I was like, okay, done. And I was telling him, like, it's $275 to nominate. I'm working on a creator-owned book, so it's not like I've got my normal income coming in. Plus, we're trying to buy a house, so we're saving up for that. And so I was like, well, how can I get the money to where it's extra to spend? Because $275 just to give away on a nomination in hopes that maybe they let you pay them 85,000 to put a star in, like. And I was like, well, I can do some commissions. And to be fair, and I want this known, Kevin offered to pay. Kevin offered to pay for the
Wow.
nomination. And I refused that because he should not have to pay for his own nomination.
Right.
This is supposed to be an honor. And I know I saw a lot of comments on the post that you saw where people were talking about Kevin doesn't care about this and Kevin doesn't need it. This is a waste of money and blah, blah, blah. It's an honor. We've all thought about what it would be like to have a star on the Walk of Fame.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
He just got somewhere along the way. Not only does he not have a star, he's never been nominated for a star.
Which is again criminal, just absolutely insane.
And for me, I can throw up a post, I can do a couple commissions, boom, done. I cut my commission price by like 75% just so that it would be cheap so more people could get involved because I wanted as many of his fans involved that wanted to be. And then once I put it on the Kevin Smith page, which is moderated by Jordan, and a
Hmm.
lot of people miss that. And I even put on the post, somebody wrote, like, one of the first comments was like, this is a fake or something. Or I would be glad to help if I knew this wasn't a scam or something like that. And I answered the guy, I was like, Jordan moderates this page. she had to let me on this page to post this. If I was a scam, she would not have done that. Jordan knows who I am. Jordan has cut my check before.
Yeah.
She knows exactly who I am. So if I was full of it, she would have said something, you know?
Right.
And again, it's back to that finding your audience. Putting it in front of Kevin's audience is Kevin has the best fans in the entire world.
I could not agree more.
The best by far. Sorry, every other person that I've worked for that's famous. Rhea
Sorry,
Ripley,
Swifties.
sorry. You're great, but your fans are not Kevin Smith fans.
Right.
You know, hate to be an asshole, but they aren't.
Take a back seat, little monsters.
Yeah, Kevin's fans were, I mean, within a couple hours, I had easily enough commissions. And then it just became like, people were so enthusiastic. I didn't want to cut my commissions off. And I feel bad that I did because it's like so many people were just hitting me up going like, I'll just send you money. I don't even want the commission. Like, he doesn't have a star? That's ridiculous. Where do I sign? I'll pay the whole thing. I don't care. Like, what do we have to do and who do we have to kill? You know? And so it was amazing to see. And I knew it would be that way.
Right. I when I saw that, I was like, this is gonna make some traction.
And it did.
Going to.
It did. That post got huge views.
And I'm like, and again, I cannot thank you enough for coming on and doing this, talking with us.
Oh man, I'm glad to do it.
That.
I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, this is awesome. I had a blast.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to wrap up now.
And Rich, all this does
Mike.
is makes me happy because he was able to get this ball rolling. This just shows our tenacity. We can get Weird Al on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl 2027. Weird Al.
That should be easy.
Right. It's a no-brainer. It really is. Weird Al can save us all.
Since the inception of this show, whenever we wrap up, we always say we want Weird Al to be the halftime show at the Super Bowl. So that is our goal in life. Once that happens, I can shuffle off this mortal coil and be happy and know that I have done something positive for the world.
I think you're going to be, your life is short-lived at this point. I don't see how that could go on much longer.
It's almost criminal, just like Kevin doesn't have a star. Him not being there is just as criminal, in my opinion.
I think you're going to get your wish, man. I really do.
It's got to happen.
I'm with you. I'm for it.
Dave, where can everybody find you at?
I'm on Instagram at David VanDyke Art. I'm not hard to find. I'm on Facebook. I'm everywhere.
And the website is davidvandykeart.com.
I don't have a website.
You don't have a website? Okay.
No. I run Polyrhythm Music on YouTube. You can check that out. We've got like 14,000 subscribers, but that's been down since my mom died. So we've got a bunch of videos backlog. There's a whole thing, but more stuff's coming. For sure, more stuff's coming there.
Guys, check out when I post the link up. I'm going to post the link for Dave here. You got to see his artwork. It is phenomenal. There's a beautiful cover of Harley and Elvira. There is.
That's for sale. The guy that bought that bought it and then backed out. So that's back on the market. That is for sale.
Yeah, I love that. And
I'll be checking some shit out. So.
Yeah. If you want to look at my artwork, Instagram's the way to go. And if you want to get a hold of me, Facebook, Instagram, like I'm easy to find and I'm easy to get a hold of. I'm not difficult.
I follow you, so I'll send you that picture from Matt Bush.
Yeah, definitely.
Either tonight or tomorrow, depending on when I finally get to it.
Yeah. Whenever you get time, do that. I want to see it for sure. Y'all should have Jason, my co-creator from Mercer and Starlancer on. Y'all would have a good time with Jason.
Dude, we'll definitely make that happen.
I'll put you in contact with him. Y'all would have a good time with Jason.
Yeah, I got your number. I'll shoot you a text or something, and in that way we can
definitely
we can make it happen. I'd love to talk to him. Guys, you can find us at Lights Camera Pop Pod and Nomad_Comics_Collectibles. And you can email us. Email us, please, at lightscamerapoppod@outlook.com. And I appreciate everybody for getting your geek on with us. And I hope you had a good time. We will be back next week. And next week we'll be celebrating some moms, I think. So,
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
you chose to have me this week.
Hey, believe me, you have an open invitation. You can always come back anytime.
Anytime. You can come back for Cougar Week.
I will take you up on that.
It's funny because we try to we like everybody that we have on the show, but there's only a handful of people that we've come out and said you have an open invitation anytime you want. Just pop in anytime.
I appreciate the invite.
And two of them have been comic book guys, you and one other person.
Yeah. Yeah, and Anchor at that.
Ah,
yeah.
See?
So, well, guys, thanks for getting your geek on with us. And Dave, is great talking to you. And we
had a blast.
Great time, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. To episode 46 of Lights Camera Pop. I am one half of the dynamic duo, Rich, and with me is not Mike today. He is currently having a little bit of internet troubles and will be joining us hopefully soon, but if not, he'll be back next week. I don't know. It's internet. Technology is only great when it works, and we all know that, and we live in that world. So, grin and bear it. Mike, you'll be all right. We'll talk to you when you get on. Also, I do want to give a quick shout out. Talked to one of my really good friends the other day, and I see him all the time. Ryan, I see you all the time, dude. And he has been like one of my best friends in life, and we worked together for years upon years, and call centers. And we would sit there and just BS with each other about science fiction movies and Night of the Living Dead and George Romero, stuff like that. And it was just always so much fun. And I see him all the time. Almost every other day, it feels like I see him. And I told him the other day, I was like, dude, did I ever tell you I have a new show? And his eyes lit up. He's like, no. And so I told him it's Lights Camera Pop. We're on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Podbean. And he's like, subscribe. So big shout out to Ryan. Thanks for the subscribe. Hope you enjoy listening to all the back catalog that we have. Coming up on a year of recording. And it's probably been a year now. But I kind of consider 52 weeks in a year. And so we're coming up on 52. So when we get on 52, I think that I would like to do something special because I feel like that's the year mark for us. So with that being said, I'm going to move on to this week's episode. And I'm really excited. So I'll tell you a little backstory about this real quick. I am part of a group on Facebook. And it is called The World of Kevin Smith. And if nobody knows who Kevin Smith is, he has given us some of the greatest comedy and heartfelt movies of all time. Don't believe me, go out and watch the movie 43. Or the movie 43. Shut my mouth. I'm sorry, the 430 movie. Jesus. I don't know why, like, That was really jacked up, and I apologize. Fuck me running. So, yeah, the 4:30 movie. Don't believe me? Go watch this movie. It will have you in tears. Such a great film. But yeah, he just given us so much. So being in this fan page, and you see so many people interacting with each other, like, hey, did you see this, did you see that, did you hear this on this show, or he was talking about this, and he's got a new movie coming out. And so there was a gentleman that had posted something that really caught my attention, and it was like, hey guys, and this is just me paraphrasing, it was like, hey guys, just want to let you know, I am going to start opening my commissions because Kevin Smith does not have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which is 100% criminal to think about this. So when I saw this, I was like, all right, I'm messaging him right now. And I was like, dude, I saw your post. I do a podcast. I would love to have you on. And I see that you're an illustrator and a co-creator of a comic, and I would like to have you on, do like we'll talk some Kevin Smith films, do a little retrospective of them, and talk about your career. And he's like, fuck yeah, I'm down. So without further ado, please welcome David VanDyke. Yay, I don't have like sound effects or anything like that. How's it going, man? Good. Hey, I'm hanging in there. I'm so excited to have you on. Like I said, I've been waiting for. I cannot believe I said the movie 43. That movie was not very good, and it was not Kevin Smith. Yeah, so if he ever listens to this, he's fuck this guy. I actually think I did that one time to somebody's face. I was doing, and well, not to their face, through Zoom. We were doing an interview, and they were a band for a sub label of another for a bigger record label, and I mixed up the wording with one of their songs, and it was supposed to be "Welcome to the Underground," and I said "Welcome to the Strange." And and they just kind of looked at each other, and I didn't catch it until like after the end. I was going, oh my god, no wonder why they were. Hey, that's why they don't put me in charge. I got all the good ideas. So, I was going through a lot of your work and everything like that. You have some amazing artwork, and do you do mostly cover arts, or because I'd also seen that you are a co-creator of a comic called Mercer?